Okay, so hey guys, I'm Matt Lighty. That's my name. This is a video loosely going over what I'll be doing for my league launch and my character in Path of Exile 2 0.4 Dawn of the Furries. Bears, Wyverns, Dragons, oh my. I'm going to be playing a Wyvern because I want to play something new. And that's the talisman, that's the weapon, is the Wyvern, utilizing the skills, the fire breath, the rolling magma. That's what it gets. It's so loosey-goosey what I'm doing. I'm going to be, there's only 2 or 3 abilities we can really actively use with the Wyvern transformation that are thematic towards fire, which is what I'm going to do. You get to spit oil, breathe fire, and shoot little magma balls. That'll be kind of fun. So I'm going to do a Ritualist, which is a Huntress, which came out the previous patch. Ritualist being one of the classes that in the Amazon at the moment. There are some new classes, but this one was interesting to me because this one notable, there's a couple things really. I like blood magic in PoE 2. It has much less downside in PoE 2, I feel. Mana doesn't really matter that much, to be honest, because you have spirit as your ore reservation. It's not from mana, so this tends to be better than not better for things that I've played so far. Like, it's pretty easy to maintain an amount of life regen versus mana cost regen, things similar to that. With using life flasks or on kill or on whatever effects, or just having life regen. So that just feels better to me. So I'm picking a Ritualist, which has this first node. This is just the same thing as the Bloodline, kind of from Ritual in PoE 1, where you have like different downsides, and then you get a ring. The downsides here are so much less. Minus 20 all res is like, whatever, it sucks early on to get past that because you just don't have good gear, yada yada. Spirit sucks because it's like, you really don't ever get past that. That's just like a crippling deficit. But the mana does nothing if you have blood magic, so easy peasy. And then you get an extra ring. And then the second point here, small node is 3% increased tribute, sure. Large node saying 25% increased bonus gained from equipped rings and amulets. We have 3 rings, we have 1 amulet, 25% increase from each is, in essence, kind of like you just gain an extra ring amulet. You get pseudo plus 1 ring in a way, because you're gaining a quarter of each stats. If you were to add them together, it's the same value as having kind of a 4th ring in that way. So ring there, ring there. This is actually my second lab and my third lab. The first lab I pick is Whisper, as the Whispers demand. Okay, this is what the Whispers are demanding. This was buffed heavily. So this is just Headhunter. That's what this is. Okay, you get a skill called Ritual Sacrifice. That skill says chunk yourself for 20% life. You gain 1 Headhunter modifier. You can only ever gain 1 modifier by pushing the button, but you can push the button as much as you want. It has a small internal cooldown, but you could just hit a flask and hammer the button 3-4 times. Great. The problem was it only lasted 20 seconds. And you couldn't apply quality to it like in any real way. But they buffed it to go from like 20 seconds to 120 seconds, which is huge. So much more enticing. This is just kind of fun. I like the idea of this. It's fun. It's like pseudo shit Headhunter as an Ascendancy, fine. So the downside of this is I'm going Fire Dragon, and the Fire Dragon stuff, I have to have an amount of Rage regen because Rage equals kind of weird CDR for the Dragon form, and then the rest of that is just fire stuff. I want to do Fire Damage, Ignite Magnitude, Exposure, Fire Archon, all the fire stuff. The fire stuff, per usual, and this is just in PoE 2, all the good nodes are pretty much on the outskirts of the tree. But I have to path from Timbuktu. This is kind of like if you saw a split personality trade in PoE 1, where it's like I'm traveling so fucking far. The passive tree in general, defensively in this game, for life, it just is non-existent for the most part. It's quite weak. You get a lot of power from gear. Offensively, it's much more potent, I would say. The offensive nodes are better. The initial pathing nodes of this is like evasion, then it's movement speed. You could cut 1 point, but you kind of just, movement speed is good, so we take that. This kills me. To me, this game, I could never take it seriously as long as this still exists. It's brutal to look through this. Very, very sad. Hopefully they fix this. The tree's going to be updated. We just haven't gotten shit for the patch as far as what's been changed fully, what's being moved. Some things are changing. The tree's not going to look the same, but for the most part it is. They're adding some more rage stuff on the left side, but it's like, this kills me. This should be, this 5-pointer should be 3 in a better world. But there we are. Grabbing a small CDR AoE node, because good. Again, the fallopian tube system here is brutal. The ass crack is just, this does not need to exist. This could be 1 point right here, you know? I'm not going to go on a rant. Life regen, life recovery from flasks, great. If I feel like I need more flask stuff, there's some flask stuff. We have some rage here. This is kind of all the rage you need. 3 rage on hit with slightly lower rage loss, inherent loss of rage. Rage doesn't trigger loss until out of combat anyway. So it just makes it do a little bit slower. There's a second node here you can grab. Gives you some more max rage, and these are all inherent. I don't really care too much about this, because you'll have rage by just doing combat. Fine. Travel. 2 points for this amount of strength is nice. Another rage cluster here. It's also not super great. 4% to gain up to max. Kind of mediocre. 2-pointer for unbreaking. It's a lot of stun threshold and ailment threshold. I could drop that, but it's fine. It's there. So what? You know, it's like, okay. Yeah. Go over here. Avatar Fire. I don't think I need this, but if I do, I can. If not, that's fine. Here's an effective fire cluster. Ignite, Magnitude, and Pen. More damage. 3-pointer for armor applies to elemental damage. It's a pretty no-brainer. The angle, I'm grabbing this cold and the fire angle just because it's the closest. Blood magic there for that solve. This is Ignite Magnitude and Flammability Magnitude. Ignite Duration. Ignite enemies take permanently more damage. There's a huge chunk of 10 travel points. Nothing to grab. Regen while stationary is a joke. I'm good there. There's just really nothing in this. This is okay if you were... I'm not critting. This 3-pointer is okay. It's ended up being 36 elemental damage, 5 all res. It's like fine. You can get that. You know, magnitude of non-damaging elements. I only inflict damaging elements. I'm doing it's ignite, ignite stuff. So, kind of mediocre there too. We do have this life regen. These 4 points for life regen is not terrible. There's ways to automate Arcane Surge to have it trigger and have it apply to life. That's like a floater. Might grab that as well. Big ignite cluster. There's just nothing really much going on here. Just ignite, fire damage, more damage, less res. Explosions. So lots of impact. It's pretty good. Burning enemies. So things that are already ignited, meaning they've reached max flammability, magnitude, and have gained ignition. So there's explosions there. It's okay. You can just run Herald of Ash. It's like, I don't really need to... Maybe I'll drop that. I'm not sure. Again, kind of mediocre. Big fire cluster there. This gives you the Flame Archon. I think they're crunching the Archons in some way. Big fire notable. Big fire notables. Small fire things. And that's kind of it. So there we go. That's like the basis of the tree. We're going to have Wyvern stuff at level 8. And I think we just are going to be on Rolling Magma for like the fucking ever, because you don't get to do the spitting the oil until like the 40s or 30s, and then Flame Breath is like 50s. So I'll be 50 like end of day 1, beginning of day 2 is when I typically hit like the end of epilogue and maps, and I'll be in there. But yeah, it's like, it's gonna be a little bit until I'm fully dragon forming, I think. Once I'm really magming, that's fine, but I won't be able to do my breath stuff for a little bit. Unique wise, I haven't even looked at uniques. I was kind of looking at everything fire ignite related that's referenced. I mean, these wikis are so fucked because they're being actively updated for all the new stuff, but yeah, there's some cool stuff. It's just I'm not going to plan on using anything at all like that. The main things is just going to be fire penetration, the idea of using volcanoes, because you could place volcanoes as an active skill and then detonate the volcanoes with the rolling magma that you get from the Wyvern. So there's going to be maybe some component to that. But we don't have information. I don't think. Pretty much still. Launches tomorrow, and I don't think there's a passage tree up or data mine. So yeah, we're just going to be doing that. So that's going to be soft winging it. But the idea is I'm playing a Wyvern, going into fire damage, ignites, embracing the rolling magma, the oil, the volcanoes, the flame breath, doing a ritualist so I get the comfiness of 2 extra rings, basically, is fun. And then ritual sacrifice I'm going to grab early for the pseudo headhunter modifiers. And the last point is either going to be just life regen here, increased life recovery per life missing. I'm not going to be reserving any life in that regard, so I'll have I'll just have an amount of increased life recovery off of my vitality I'll be running, or I can do an extra charm slot, which is okay. Not too interested in blood boil. This is like a corrupting blood style thing, but they actually buffed this to give you just 15% more blanket damage, but it's difficult to get this to propagate onto bosses from what I've been told, so pretty good. That's it. Hypothetically, you could, I think, grab both of these downsides if you want to really just kneecap yourself for no reason. That's your last lab. But that's my plan, loosely. Wyvern, fire, ignite, Wyvern, Ritualist, Dragon Breath. And then, just going to see where it goes. It's, again, these patches are just kind of up in the air. Loosey-goosey. So we'll see what they have. We have rigorous patch notes, just no real confirmed stuff. So either way, it'll be fun. I'll be playing all Friday, all Saturday, all Sunday. We'll be into Waystones Day 2 like we normally do. Normally deathless. Normally pretty easy. This is like my 10th PoE2 character, and I've gotten them all to the similar place in a similar time, so it should be okay. Maybe for the first time ever, this will be like super OP, and I'll just shit piss stomp on everything. But yeah, time will tell. All right, if you have any questions or suggestions for my Wyvern igniting, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in stream. I'm Mathew Lighty, and have a good day. Bye-bye.